say you were a college freshman. You got there in September and everything was bright and shiny and new and exciting, but pretty soon things seem to be going south. Your new roommate doesn't like Super Smash Brothers. You look forward to FaceTime visit with your best friend from home, but they're also new at school and they forgot all about it. So you've had a bad day, week, month, or even a year, and soon those bad times begin to weigh on you. You don't want to go out and do things. You're preoccupied and forgetful. And so when people ask you to do things, you're not there. You don't tag along because it seems much safer to stay in your nice dorm room. But soon you're in your dorm room all the time. You don't want to go to the cafeteria, to class. You're really depressed now. Well, believe it or not, the first thing I'm going to ask you if you come to my office is to lace up your shoes and get outside.
But it's not what you're made for, and there's nothing that is too late for.
Hey friends, I am Ellen, your young adult therapy mom, and I am all about teens, young adults, and parents of teens and young adults as we try to get through this freaking planet together. Today we're going to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart because I've given you a lot of stuff that may not match up. So let's think about what I've given you so far. First of all, I have said that we're going to avoid thinking errors. Everybody wants to avoid a thinking error, right? But nobody wants to cut the words always and never out of their working vocabulary. Not as parents, not as young adults, not as teens. None of us want to do that. But that's what I'm asking you to do. We're going to remember that we're bags of flesh and fluids, right? We're living in a human body. What I'm asking you to do is to hold two impossible things as both true, right? We talked about this in an earlier video as well. Riffing off Dr. Becky and Marsha Linehan here, we're going to say two things are true here. Well, we're not always going to try to fix our thinking with thinking. I have a wise older friend, and she says to me about once a month, move a muscle, change a thought. I've watched her over the years. I've watched her battle terrible degenerative neck disease. I've watched her have surgery and deal with this pain, and deal with a lot of disappointments in her family all the way through. And she was pretty bummed out and had a lot of reason to be bummed out. And do you know what she did? She just kept saying, move a muscle, change a thought. And she would go to her physical therapy, even though it was really painful. She would go hang out with friends, even though she didn't want to be with anybody. She was depressed and she lives alone. And yet she kept doing those things. And she would say to me over and over again, move a muscle, change a thought. Well, today she's feeling much better, experiencing a life that she wouldn't have if she just did what felt good, right? So what's going on in your body? Well, your brain circuits can be rewired by changing perceptions or behaviors that include reframing or repeating the same experience but with a different outlook. You see, by going outside or calling a friend, when you desperately just want to stay in bed, you're giving your brain a chance to break some of those bad connections and rewire some of the new ones that will help you out in the long run. Your brain is good and wants to do you a solid. Trying new things gives it a chance. Most people also have emotion-driven behaviors. For instance, when I hear the theme song for Star Trek, I want to eat popcorn. Now, it doesn't matter that I ate a whole T-bone steak for dinner. I still want to eat popcorn. I bet you have something like that in your life too. Sometimes when we're sad, we want a nap. Sometimes when we're nervous, we want to have a drink. Sometimes when we're angry, we want to yell or do something physical and aggressive. Turns out that doing the opposite of that negative emotion behavior can help change that behavior and that emotion into something more positive. So next time you're nervous, call a friend instead of having a drink. Next time you're sad, go for a run instead of taking a nap. And next time you're angry, try writing in your journal or drawing or do another calming activity. You won't want to do those things. Your emotions will be yelling and screaming at you not to. But when you move a muscle, you can change a thought and a feeling. Take it from me. Now, I'm not against doing what feels good. Hi, I like what feels good. And yet, if that's all we do, or that's all we ever select, if we only select for comfort, we're gonna miss this important thing where we change our thoughts, not by thinking some more in our comfortable, warm electric blanket, but by moving a muscle to change that thought. So today, friends, I want you to do something good for your social environment. That might be call a friend. That might be nice to your mom. That might be do the dishes for somebody. That might be holding a door open. I also today want you to do something good for your own human body. Do you need to floss those teeth? Take a walk around the block. Do some yoga stretches. Or does it mean do some sort of heavy duty grooming, like put all those good creams on your body? Whatever it is, you can do that too. When you're feeling crummy, especially when you're feeling crummy in the noggin, I know you don't want to do a thing. That's cool. I get it. And yet, move a muscle. And because we're bags of flesh and fluids, because we live in environments that we also shape a little bit, and because that if you believe two things that are completely opposite, and in this case, we're saying, I want to feel better and be comfortable. I'm going to do something uncomfortable so that I can feel better, right? Two things are true, people. Go for it, go forth, prosper, and have a great day.